I I had some interesting thoughts about chapter 10, but ultimately it's a continuation of his response to Bildad about his situation, that it doesn't make sense, you know. Why am I being punished? I haven't done anything wrong. Uh, it's like it's like being caught in the middle, which is what is going on, you know. Bear in mind, Satan asked God, can I torture this guy? God responds to Satan, well, initially he says to Satan, haven't you seen my servant Job? This guy is some guy, ain't he? I mean, he's a fabulous guy, and he's perfect and righteous. He's a righteous man. Um, I'm summing it up, but I'm not saying it very well. And Satan says, skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath, will he not forsake, something like that, Satan basically challenges God and said, oh yeah? I don't believe you. Let me torture this flim-flam artist, and I'll show you what's what, God. And so Job is caught in the middle of this test between God and Satan. It's a battle. It's an intellectual battle. It's why courtroom dramas need to be emphasized so much more. It's probably the reason why our country has fallen so dramatically, culturally and societally. We've just fallen into the toilet because we have no more courtroom dramas. And what you need is a courtroom drama type situation where you have all of the courtroom procedure accurately portrayed and evidence displayed. And like, you go on YouTube now and you see all these very attractive women coming into the courtroom like wearing like a bikini, and then the judge is like, get out of my courtroom! Like, that's where our culture has fallen into the toilet. It's like there is no courtroom procedure. It's like it's so pathetic that you can't even have a trial because some woman comes in wearing a bikini, and it's like, what? I'm being totally respectful. I put on a bra. And it's just such disrespect, and nobody realizes it, like how stupid we've all become. Anyway, but ultimately that's what this is all about, is a battle between Satan and God over, can there be anybody, it's a challenge. Is there a righteous man on the whole face of the planet? And God thinks that Job is an amazing guy, and he's putting him through this test. Satan is allowed, he's given permission from God to do this. Satan took Job's whole family, his property, his and his health also. He has a bunch of boils on him, and I think they described that previous chapter like elephantitis or something. It's really bad sounding stuff. Anyway, one other thing I wanted to say before I get to the actual notes is when he starts talking about hell, he talks about even to the land of darkness and to the shadow of death, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness. A lot of people think that hell is like at the bottom of the ocean, and it's not like a Tom and Jerry cartoon. That's what I was taught when I was a kid, that hell is like a Tom and Jerry cartoon, and you're like Tom being brought down to like this lava area, and there's a big pot of boiling water, and there's a bulldog with a pitchfork and horns, and he's like, "Bring him down!" And Tom, this is an old Tom and Jerry cartoon. Like, this is what our culture thinks hell is this big boiling fire red area, like Norfair in Metroid type music playing, and lava monsters, and you really need that ice beam to have any chance. But anyway, but with it being a land of darkness, so what the Bible actually describes versus what the dumb culture and video game nonsense describes, it describes a place without any order. God is order. He provides a law and order and stability. I don't know about you, but I don't like having to worry about basic things being compromised, Like, you got to worry, like going to work, you got to worry about some piece of garbage breaking into your house, or some weird type of situation. You take a day off from work, and your coworkers take over, and you got to worry about them getting shot, or some dangerous type of situation happening because you're not there. They see me on this camera. I probably don't look that formidable, but a lot of people have been commenting about me that you're looking pretty tough. And so when I'm there, when we encounter really demonic, screwed up people, they're naturally kind of scared of me. I've noticed that. And thieves too. But when I'm not there, then it's like all hell breaks loose a lot of times. And but it's I forget what my point was about that. Law and order. Do you like coming into work? You're doing all this to make the store look really nice. You're spending all this time doing all this, and then some jerk comes in with a big garbage bag stuffed down his pants, and he waits for you to walk down the corner or go into the back room or something, and then he whips out this big garbage bag and just fills it up with a bunch of food, and then he runs for the door. And it happens so fast, and you've wasted all this time creating this nice atmosphere, and then here's this piece of garbage that comes in and completely ruins everything. That's the whole problem with our situation in this world today about the end of the age and the apostasy. If you can't have stability, if the law and order starts to break down and people just start coming in with garbage bags, how do you have any kind of regular, normal society without it breaking down, What I'd like to do is take the law into my own hands and take care of business with some of these thieves. But in fact, they warn me that I would be the one breaking the law with trying to stop them. Isn't that just absolute madness? I feel like that's exactly a description of the end of the age and the apostasy and where we are in our society. A land of darkness, as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness. It's an imitation of the light. The light is as darkness. Good is as evil. Opposite is in control. Evil is in control. Isn't that amazing? That's where we're headed in this country. Just amazing. Hell on earth.